Start. So, hello, I'm here live this Sunday. I missed last Sunday. I'm sorry about that. Some things were going on. I didn't have time. This Sunday, though, I'm joining you live with Violet back here. She loves when I'm in this guest room of ours. And I want to talk about the whole theme today, I guess. The title of today is how sometimes we think that things have to be a certain way in order to start what we want to do in life, kind of. Whether that be a side hustle, a goal, a dream, a career, where we want to live. And I'm coming from my perspective. This is what I know. This is what I've seen and observed in my time here in my life and in those lives around me. Violet's right here now. I think she wants to sit on my lap and she's weary. She's my very cautious kitty. But I feel like I don't want to say procrastinate because I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. And I talk about going for our goals and dreams on this channel. And I want to have it in a perspective that's relatable instead of me just coming out here and saying, just do it, just get started. Come on, what's holding you back? And I say that also. I like to give a lot of inspiration or try and encourage you to go for what you want to go for. But at the same time, I'm human also, and I haven't always gone for my goals and dreams because the timing was not always right. My kids were too young, I didn't always have time, or I had just gotten married or something, or just started a career. And at that time, maybe those were the goals, right? Maybe getting a new career is the goal. It doesn't always have to be something on the side. But I want to talk a little bit more about this, a little bit deeper, and talk about how sometimes we do feel like it has to be not perfect, but just maybe we feel like someday it will be like this, and then I can get started, or someday my schedule will be like this, and then I can get something started. And I think there's a lot of reasons why we do that. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. I have some notes. So I don't know okay. So I feel like we're waiting for that certain time. We're waiting for like this certain situation. And I feel like when I was thinking about this, it was like, yes, not some people go for their goals, some people go for their dreams and really do it, and some don't. And I was like, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't people be going for their goals and going for their dreams other than feeling like we have to wait? Like there's something that has to be a certain way in order for us to get started. And I wanted to think about that. Maybe it's a perfect condition. Maybe it's the perfect mindset. I'm sorry, I'm saying perfect. I'm not meaning to say perfect, but it's a certain thing that we're waiting for that is a hurdle that we feel like when it's this way, I will get started. And or I was feeling like maybe things are a really good way for you. Maybe you have the situation, that you have the job, you have the marriage or relationship, and you have the kids and you have the house and everything, and you're like, well, why should I go for something new or something on the side when I already have things a certain way? And this came to mind because somebody said to me the other day, and she's like, well, looking on the outside, like you have the perfect life, you have the career and the kids and the husband and the house. And she kind of left it like that, like, why would you want anything different? And maybe you're sitting there thinking that also, like, why would I want to go for that thing when things are going really well? And I do have an answer for this. I always have an answer for it. And it might relate to what you're going through or not. For me, I am a big personal growth type person, and I feel like most of us are. I feel like most of us, we get into a certain situation and then we get used to it. And maybe it becomes a little stagnant, maybe a little boring, and we need something new. We need something to shake things up a little bit. We've maybe met a milestone that we want to be at, and we want to challenge ourselves a little bit more. We want to try something different. We want to have a different experience. And I know for me, that's kind of where it comes from, that yes, I have these things in my life that I'm super, super grateful for. And sometimes I do ask myself, why am I trying to start this business? And why am I doing all of these things when I already have so much? And it's like, I still have that desire to do something more, to push myself, to challenge myself so I don't get bored. I know some of us, like that nighttime time. Maybe if you have kids or something, they're getting ready for bed and you're ready for bed or whatever, and you're like, I have a half an hour, an hour, and we can kind of relax in that time. Okay, that's good. But we can also get a little stagnant during that time, watch TV. We can do those sorts of things, scroll and kind of waste some time. And for me, it kind of feels like a waste of time. So I keep going and doing things for me. And I want that for you also. Like, I want you to be realizing that you're doing these things on the side for you to grow, to appreciate, to bring into your lives. So the theme today, sometimes we think that we have to wait for a certain time in order to go for it, in order to go for what we want out there. So I think one thing, don't leave, Violet. I think that one thing, and I'm not saying that any of this is wrong. I'm not saying any of it is wrong, or I'm not trying to discourage you at all. If you don't want to hear this, your gaming buddy, just flip on to a different channel. That's totally fine with me. So I'm not saying that it's wrong, and I'm not implying that you have to fit things into your life, that you have to go for those goals even when you're busy. What I'm saying is, a lot of us think, oh, I'll have tomorrow. I have tomorrow to do it. I'll do it next week, or I'll do it when this circumstance is this certain way. And I'm coming out here, I'm not trying to scare you, but we don't have an infinite number of weeks. As you know, we don't have an infinite amount of days. And we have this time that if we keep pushing things off, obviously, we're going to get to one day and think, boy, I wish I would have done that. And that's kind of why I'm out here. I want to say, I'm trying to encourage you to make today or this week the week that you start something. Start something for you. Start something that you've always are wanting to do. So something that has always been on your heart, something that you want to experience, that you want to be proud of for yourself, and you want to bring into your life. So a couple of ways that we can do this. So I don't know if you can see Violet here. She's my little lap buddy, apparently. So a couple of things. I think that one thing that stops us from going for our goals, which is kind of what we're talking about, and I'm not talking about, oh, I want to clean the floor today, or I want to clean out the pantry today, and that's great, but I'm talking about doing something that's bigger than that, something that's going to not necessarily be life-changing, but make you proud in life, something other than your day-to-day. So I think that one thing that stops people is thinking about the goal in its entirety. So you're thinking about the whole thing that you have to accomplish all at once. And it doesn't have to be like that. I have a lot of videos on my channel about how we can break things down and say, okay, today or this week, I'm going to work on this one thing. So if we look at the thing that we want to do, the goal that we have, okay, um, we think of the end result, and that's scary. That can be really big. That can be like, oh, I'm going to do these 18,000 things in order to get there, instead of, well, what can I do today that just kind of moves the needle? And I was a little distracted. I'm sorry. Whoever's watching this on replay, there were some comments going on that I was like, oh my gosh, I just need to not read the comments. So um, I feel like one of the things that stops us from getting started is that we want things to be a certain way in our lives. We're waiting for that perfect time, whatever that is, our perfect health or perfect schedule, or maybe when the kids get older, which is where mine are a little bit right now, and it does free up a little bit of time. But then we also are waiting to get started because we need to break it down. We need to not look at this big thing that we want to accomplish like we have to do it right now. And I know that in this world where like instant gratification, everything happens right now, but sometimes that delayed challenge, that delayed progress, or that work that we have to do is the goal. Like it is the thing that we're working towards, because I look at my situation right now. I'm starting this Busy Dreamer business, and I'm coming out with a planner, and I've written my books and everything. And yes, it's great to get to the end and have that accomplishment. But leading up to that, like that time in the middle, is also so rewarding and so gratifying. And it's funny because I heard somebody talk today about how they don't like hard work. And he was like, I just want to get to the end. I don't want to put that work in. I want that end result. And that time in the middle where I'm working hard scares me. And I think about that, and it didn't bring out the topic, but I wanted to mention it today and ask you, are you afraid of that hard time in the middle? That hard time that that is harder. You have to push a little bit. It's something a little bit different that you're doing. And yes, when we're doing something different, it's a challenge. We have to learn something new. And I don't know about you, like I'm well into my adult years. Sometimes learning something new is hard, and we have to push through that. So that might be the certain or specific condition that that you're waiting for, is that, oh, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy, and I'm going to be able to move forward quickly. And that's not wrong either. But I know that like in writing my books and in starting my business, it's been 5 or 6, uh-oh, something just fell. It's totally fine. It's been like 6 years where I've been working on this and haven't really gotten to the place that I want to be. It has been 6 years of kind of this challenge zone, but I'm not saying that to like try and steer you away from going for something. I'm kind of saying that because I've totally enjoyed this process also. Yes, you can ask something. I might not answer it, but we'll see. I'm gonna flip up here because I had a notification. So one thing, I have my notes. Let me look at my notes here. So one thing that I wanted to say is our goals or our dreams, the things that we want to do. This might feel like it's coming. Am I checking the chat? A little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to ignore the chat a little bit because I get really distracted, and some of the comments on there were really distracting to me today. So just kind of like some people were saying stuff about my cat, like I was being mean. Well, she absolutely loves me scratching her, so whatever. It's funny. People were in a mood today, so that's fine. So go ahead and ask me something. You can chat with me. I'm fine with that. People who watch the replays though, do you guys watch the replays on lives? Because I don't think they're super popular because this back and forth sometimes is good in the moment, and then watching it later is like, well, I wasn't really a part of that and it doesn't totally make sense. But I was kind of talking about how we're waiting for this specific condition in order to go for something that we have always wanted to go for, or maybe we have the idea and we need to sit with it for a little while, formulate a plan, come up with our action that we're going to take, and we can break that action down. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you very much. We can break down the thing that we want to do in order to make it. So that's the question. Very nice of you. Yes, some people come out here and say that. So that's very nice. But I think that our goals don't have to stem from a certain place. Like I was talking about a little bit ago, like I have things really good in my life from the outside. People are like, why are you writing that book? Like, why are you trying to start this business when you already have a career and you have the kids and everything? And I've thought about that, and it kind of has made me feel guilty about spending this time and my extra time on going for something else. I'm like, okay, well, I have the career. Why am I going for this business thing? And my answer to that is, oh, now I have hair everywhere. Okay, my cat's shedding a little. The answer to that is our goals don't have to stem from unhappiness. They don't have to be created because we're unhappy with a situation. And they can totally come from being happy about something. They can be about wanting to share what you have with other people. Maybe you're an artist and you want to share your art with people, and that's a happy thing. Or maybe you're a writer and you want to share your books, and that doesn't have to come from an unhappy place. Sometimes we feel like so I'm creating kind of this quiz to my newsletter subscribers that it's not ready yet. It'll go out to all of my subscribers. If you were to go on my website, it's thebusydreamer.com, and sign up for my newsletter, you'll get this little quiz in a couple of days. And the quiz is called, what type of goal getter are you? So how do you go for your goals? Are you kind of the procrastinator and you're like, or kind of in denial and you think, I don't need to go for goals, I'm fine with that. Or are you the type of person who says, I have these things that I want to do, I'll go for them later. We've all done that, right? We've all preferred to watch a movie instead of write the book or do the exercise plan or whatever, right? Or are you the type of person who plans everything and you're like, yes, I'm gonna go for it. Maybe you're the type of person who waits for an event to go for something like New Year's or a new month or a birthday, or maybe a reunion or something. And or maybe you're like that perfect person, not perfect, sorry, I keep saying perfect, I don't mean to, but maybe you're that person who has the goal, makes the plan, and goes for it no matter what. Violet's very interested in that. I know, I talk with my hands. That's just a thing. It's just what happens. So somebody, you might even say, what are goals? I don't care about goals or my dreams or whatever. I just want to play games or scroll all the time. And to each their own, like you can totally do that. But I think that we all fit into this kind of criteria. Maybe we overlap a little bit. And I think knowing that can help us play to the strengths of it, because I think that in all of that, there are strengths. Maybe not procrastinating to the point where we're, 75 and we still haven't done 18 things that we want to. We want to actually do them in our lives, but maybe procrastinating lets you ruminate about it, think about it, maybe learn about it, do some research, prepare yourself mentally for it in order to get started. I know my husband, when he's thinking about doing something, like he can't just jump into it. He has to think about it for a while. And I'm like, why don't you just do it? Why can't you just get started? And he's like, no, I have to think about it first. I have to do this, A through M type thing in order to really get myself ready for it. And I'm like, just plan it and go for it. But I think that finding out what type of person we are and going back to the theme that I was talking about in waiting for this certain time, thinking that we need to wait for this certain time or we need to wait until we have the whole plan ready. I'm not saying that's wrong, but I feel like we can do ourselves a favor. And this is where I'll kind of like culminate to the end here in picking, bye Violet, in picking one thing that we can do this week. And it doesn't mean that it's the whole thing, okay? But if you have something in mind that you've been doing, that you've been wanting to do, maybe you need to sit and think about it this week. And maybe that's the thing that helps you move forward, is letting yourself think about it, giving yourself that time to dream about it. And that's fine. It gives yourself that time to prepare. Maybe you're ready to do some research about it. Maybe you do want to write a book or go back to school or try and get a different job or start an exercise plan or move or something. Maybe sitting there and doing a little bit of research about it. I know that when I'm doing my stuff, I love to have my computer, love to have my laptop. I love to have my planner and my pens and my tea and everything. And it almost, if I don't have something to do on the computer, I'll create something to do on my laptop because I just love that kind of laptop lifestyle. But, or maybe this week is the week that you pick a task, even if the circumstances aren't a certain way, they're not a specific way. You're not exactly at the point that you thought that you needed to be in order to get this thing started. That's okay. I had to wait a while before I started. My books are over here, so I'm like pointing to my books on the desk. I needed to wait a little while before I wrote my books because my kids were just too young and I could not get my head in that space, because then at that time, my goal was to be there for my kids, and I'm still there for my kids, but it's different when they get older and you don't have to help them with everything. So at that time of life, in my life, like that was the thing that I was working on. But then it became a time where I was like, what am I waiting for? I don't know what I'm waiting for. Things are fine right now. Like my kids were terrible sleepers, so I had to sit outside of their door where they could see me. And I would inch my way out of the door a little bit more out of their room. But I could sit there with a pad of paper, if there was just a little bit of light from their nightlight, and scribble out some scenes of my book. And that to me was a very peaceful, quiet time that I could sit there and work on my dream of becoming an author. And at the time, I remember thinking, why didn't I do this sooner? And it just wasn't the time. That's not what we're doing here. We're not saying that we're late or we're behind. We're just saying that we can sit with this time right now and ask ourselves, in a year, what would we like to accomplish? Like this time next year, this time next month, whatever your time frame is, because I have a whole nother spiel about that we probably won't get into. I put way too many time pressures on myself is because I'm like, I thought I'd be where I am right now in November last year. And it does put stress on you. And it's like, no, I don't want to have that kind of stress. It is what it is, the time. But to get back to what I was saying, what is something that you can do this week? Not the whole thing, not the 20 things that you want to do, but what is one thing that you can do this week to just kind of get your foot starting to move in that direction, in that forward direction? So I want you to write that down. I want you to think about that one thing that will kind of propel you forward, that will start the ball rolling, that will kind of get that momentum going, even if it's just that one thing. So That's what I'm talking about today. It was probably a whole, oh, now Violet's trying to get out. It was probably a whole roundabout circle. I didn't have it completely scripted today, but I think I got it all out there, what I wanted to say. And I thank you for being here. If you're new and you like this kind of content, I am a busy working mom coming out here on the side, trying to encourage you in a positive and gentle way to go for your goals and your dreams one step at a time, not all at once, and not in a hustly way, not in a stressful way, but in a way that serves you, that feels good to you and your mental abilities, your purpose driven life, kind of. I come out here and try and share with you a little bit of my journey, but also want to relate to you because I think we're all busy, right? We're all so busy. Sometimes it's self-made. Sometimes my busyness is totally of my own doing, and that's fine too. But at the same time, you have to look at that and like, okay, am I not doing the things that I want to do because I'm making myself busy, or not asking for help, or not, feeling like I have to fill all of that space. But I like to come out here and just share with you a little bit of my life, because I know there's so many people out there who, maybe you're not a busy working mom like me, maybe you're just a busy person, maybe you have other responsibilities in your life. And I want you to feel like, even if you have your goals and your dreams that you want to go for, that that's normal, that that's okay. And even if things are going good in your life, even if you are really busy, it's okay to want those things first of all. And then to try and give you some steps on how you can do that, on how you can bring those things in your life. And sometimes we have to find that dreamer's moment. That's what I've kind of coined it to be, where you have 30 minutes a day, where you can take that time, whether it's early in the morning, or maybe your lunch break, or maybe at night when the kids are getting ready for bed. Hello, thanks for being here. And maybe that's your time to sit and work on your thing, and work on yourself and really go for it. And I'm trying to come out and show you how I go for it, and in hopes that it'll kind of inspire you to do the same. So I think that's all that I have to say today. I thank you for joining me. If you're new and you like this and you feel a little bit of a connection to the message that I have here, or want some inspiration or encouragement, I definitely have enough of that to share. So I hope that you stick around. And we just hit 1,000 subscribers a few weeks ago. That was a great New Year's kind of present for me, but I'm hoping to reach more people, because I feel like some messages out there are what they are, right? They're kind of not this type of go for your goals kind of content, like go for your purpose, have a fulfilling life. But I feel like this is part of my purpose, and I'm kind of rambling. I know there's some new people who came on, so I'm wanting to say hi. But I feel like we're not so far from the wholesomeness of life to forget about ourselves, to forget about these little times in our lives that we can step towards our goal a little bit at a time, in order to bring it into our lives. Because I feel like, I'm the mom of the house. If I'm happy, everybody else is happy. When I'm not happy, I can definitely see that spreads too. And doing these things for myself on the side, starting the business and writing my books and writing my planners. I have a goal planner coming out this spring. I'm so excited about it. These things make me happy. I'm showing my kids that I'm moving forward towards my own goals in a healthy way, and hoping that one day they'll do the same thing. Hoping one day you'll do the same also. But this sort of thing brings me a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of fulfillment. And like I said, I'm the mom of the house. When the mom's happy, the rest of the house is happy. So that's kind of why I keep doing it, is because I feel like that's somewhat of my mission to, I know that to reach out to you, because I know that everybody has something that they want to do, that they want to go for, and we completely can. So my message is that it does not have to be a perfect situation or a certain situation to get started, that we're writing one thing down that we can do this week. Let me know what that one thing is. If you watch the replay, let me know. I'm so curious. I need some more examples too, besides writing a book or starting a business, because that's what I do. But we can write that one thing down, and it doesn't have to be the whole thing. It doesn't have to be writing the book in this week, or, killing ourselves at the gym in order to try and get to a certain look. But, oh, thank you. You saw me on, on Minnow Pond. Thank you so much. Yes. I, thank you for that. I love Minnow Pond Tarot. If you guys don't watch Chris, first of all, he's hilarious, and his words just flow like crazy. And I'm so inspired by that. And so much, I do like the tarot thing, because if it's the right thing, if it's the Minnow Pond Tarot, I feel like he's talking right to me. And he's like, okay, you've had this goal, you've had this dream, and go for it, you guys. What are you waiting for? And maybe you are going for it. You're going to get some opportunities this week. I find it so encouraging, and trying to learn from the best, right? And do a little bit of that and spread it around. He's almost to 1 million subscribers. So I'm like, good. More people like coming out there and listening to that kind of message just lights us up. And that's why we should be here. So I'm so happy you guys are here. Thank you for your messages and your little hearts. I love that. Thank you for supporting me, and I'm supporting you too. I'm rooting for you, because your dreams really matter. Your goals matter. What you do in this life matters. And I'm rooting for you. I will be here. I'm starting a challenge to be out here every day. I don't know when I'm starting that, because I was going to do it Friday, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go out here every day. And then yesterday I went to bed and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't come out there. So anyway, thank you for being here. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go sit down in the kitchen and do a ton of homework with my kids, because one was sick last week, so we're a little behind. But I wish you the best. I wish you the best for this week, and thank you very much. That's so nice of you. And I will be back rooting for you. You guys matter, and what you do matters. So go do that one thing, okay? And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.